Okay.
86-year-old George Osterhuis has been a widower for many years. He and his dog Tila were driving 1,500 miles from his home in Ottawa, Ontario, to his condo on the Florida West Coast. He happened to be in Columbia, South Carolina during the worst of the torrential rain and flooding. He pulled off the highway because the driving was so dangerous, but floodwaters overtook his car. He was trapped.
Yeah, I got emotional.
But he was about to meet an extraordinary family. Tom and Julie Hall were out in the floodwaters trying to make sure neighbors were safe. They saw a car stuck against a fence, and Tom slowly made his way closer to see if anyone was inside. His son Bryce shot this video as his father made his way to the car.
My dad cannot tell, as you can hear, if there's someone in the car or not.
But minutes later,
I got to a point where I could see a little bit better, and I'm waving like this, and I see this little hand come out of the window. I'm like, oh my God, that's not what you want to see, you know. So he's waving, and that means, you know, you got to go get him.
I couldn't stand up. The current was too strong there. That would have swept me away.
Tom called a very busy 911, but couldn't wait for help to arrive. He started to walk and paddle his arms to the car, battling the current in deep water. We went to the exact site, now dry.
The only thing I had for safety was all these tree branches, and I basically would grab a tree branch and I would walk it over, and I'd grab another tree branch and I would walk it over, and I was just using these tree branches to make sure my feet didn't get swept out from under me.
And the car was right over there by that fence,
right.
Correct? That's the distance you had to go in water that got up to 5 feet deep, right?
Yeah.
He said, leave the dog behind. And I said, no way.
He's hypothermic, and he's losing it a little bit, and I'm getting more tired. I have no idea when 911's going to come, and I just didn't think they were going to get there in time.
Tom hardly could stand on his own feet. Now he had to drag me too.
You didn't think you were going to survive?
I mean, I didn't think that I wasn't going to survive, but you don't have any options. You know, you've made a commitment, and we're in it together. And you know, he said to me in the car, "I'm not afraid to die," and I told him that I was, and we weren't going to die.
Tom hugged George from the back. George hugged his Yorkie Tila. They had 150 yards to go to navigate to safety. At one point, George started to float away. Tom grabbed him, but couldn't make the last 50 yards. It was then his wife Julie and son Bryce came in the water and to the rescue, bringing George, Tom, and yes, Tila to safety.
Basically, you ensured your husband's and George's survival by coming out.
Well, I hadn't thought about it like that, but maybe so.
We were out of energy. We couldn't go any further. I mean, we were done.
The problem was that there wasn't really a good signal there.
Tom and Julie Hall and their 3 sons are taking care of George for now and have quickly grown very close to him. George feels the same way and says he will be forever grateful to Tom.
What can you say when somebody saved your life, you know, really, and not only mine, my dog's too, like, you know, of course, you know. This man is unbelievable.